Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1065. Hey! What? Mike Matthews here.
Wasn't it 155? Didn't you correct yourself?
Why are you doing this to me?
Because I feel like you said 165 and then you went 155.
You're like the voice in the back of my head. See, 1064.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
This is a podcast where we just argue about how many episodes I've done. 1064 was the last one.
Okay, cool.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
So yesterday, Ted Cruz had a good day in Wisconsin. He got up on the stage and he said, "I love Wilson Phillips."
I'll be honest, your energy just kind of went bombing. Just so you know, I thought it was a nice stark contrast for the rhymes.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
So what, my energy should be more up here?
I just love we are arguing about things. It was 164.
Mike's Daily
That's the episode.
Podcast.
Plus 900.
Yeah!
And then you Wisconsin and Ted Cruz. And we're talking about Wilson Phillips somehow.
All right, you're right. I guess my energy did suddenly take a nosedive.
Energy exercises. Let's go.
We're doing exercises. Well, Hayley, Thesemi is here. I'm Mike Matthews. I had to before you say anything, I had to shove me in there because I'm so self-absorbed.
You selfish bastard.
So anyway, go on. I'm sorry.
Welcome to Cafe Anyway.
Oh, wow. We're somewhere in Podcaster Valley.
Mm-hmm.
The last place on earth.
Find us if you dare.
You know what? Fremont's also very nice, I just want to say, this time of year.
Mm-hmm. It was too hot yesterday.
It was hot! And the rest of the country is all cold and stuff.
Welcome to the Weather Podcast, where we complain about how hot it is!
And that sucks for us because we get up so early and we need to get to sleep early when the sun's still up.
And we need to bundle up when we go to work, and then we have to strip down to go home.
This is getting very sexual. Oh wait, I'm gonna insert my burlesque music here. Oh wait, first somebody just walked in. Hi, Mike. How y'all doing? It's Benita the rodeo queen.
And it's a disgruntled fiddle player, tell you what.
What?
Ted Cruz won last night, but I don't like him because I wanted Rand Cruiser. That meant I wanted Rand Paul in that equation. But since he's not, and because I hate Donald Trump because he made fun of me because I don't play the fiddle anymore because I'm disgruntled, I'm going to vote for my hat.
It's good that we know where you are on the political climate side of things.
Well, the fact of the matter is, Hayley Joel Osment.
We did that joke yesterday.
Well, I wasn't here yesterday. I was in my life support system chamber being irradiated with wonderful light that comes only from the television when it's on Springer.
Look who else just walked in. You gotta say I timed that shit out pretty good right now. You gotta say, because that was... You're not impressed, are you? Look at you. Look who else walked in.
Hi, Mike. I make the root beer. I'm the brewmaster. Oh, boy.
Brewmaster, look. It's Hayley.
Are you impressed?
Hayley, I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
I'm gonna throw this phone at your head. I'm gonna knock that goddamn cylindrical little hat off of your head. And there's gonna be nothing underneath it.
Oh my god, you scared the crap out of Brewmaster. He's all cowering in a corner. We have several corners here at Cafe Anyway. We have 5 billion corners. Did you know the debt for students today has gone up to 1 trillion something?
I'm not surprised.
I was listening to a very interesting podcast on my drive to Fremont today. And you know the guy that hosts Dirty Jobs?
Mike Rowe of Dirty Jobs.
He's a fascinating man.
I've heard.
He actually got his start, I think, in San Francisco TV or something. Anywho, he's all about the fact that we put too much emphasis on college learning, and that there are all these other jobs that need extensive training.
Yeah.
In order to
the technical work.
Yeah. And that we don't put any onus on that, and it's difficult to get those jobs or to get the training for those jobs. And he said there are all these jobs in America that are just falling by the wayside, or like we have a situation here at our station. Somebody's leaving, and that means we have to spend several weeks to train that person on how to do board op work.
Yeah.
We say board op like it's something. It's not easy to do. I mean, it's easy for us because we're super smart. But
it can be easy, but if something goes wrong, it's not easy.
Yeah, but you have to think on your feet many times.
You have to know the correct procedure.
You're very good at that, Hayley.
Thank you. I do my best.
I've seen you pull rabbits out of hats. Remember last week?
When I pulled a rabbit out of the hat, yeah.
And you got that Spanish guitar music on the air, like super quick. I'm like, how did he do that?
Yeah.
He whipped out a guitar, ladies and gentlemen, and started playing beautiful Latin notes.
Classical guitar music.
Beautiful.
And then the radio was saved.
Thank you for doing that.
The radio industry was saved.
So what's his name, Dirty Jobs guy?
Mike Rowe.
Mike Rowe.
Mike Rowe.
Sang opera for a while.
Nice. I can see that.
The host of the podcast, Warren Olney, asked him, hey, so how did you go from opera to, being a host of a well-known documentary style type show, and a news show? And he said, well, my grandfather built the house that we live in completely without a blueprint. And he goes, I always wanted to do that, but I had no skills to do that. And my grandfather sat me down one day and said, look, Mike, you have a toolbox full of other tools for your profession. So he said I had to use a different toolbox with different tools, thus meaning his voice and such.
He's got a very good deal with Discovery Channel.
He does.
He is their two most popular shows. He's the host of Dirty Jobs, and he's the voice of Deadliest Catch.
I forgot he's the voice of Deadliest Catch.
He's got an excellent thing working for him.
Wow. And he just seemed like a really nice guy. And his cause of helping out the youthful young people of the Americas with their college, because his whole thing is, I don't want to see kids getting sucked into debt, because it's all about, oh, you got to go to college, oh, you got to pay this much for, and he said they should, be learning other things.
Yeah. Now, I think he is against free college. So I don't think well, he wants an emphasis on people learning different skill sets outside of college.
Yeah.
But I think he's actually against free college in general, and thinks that for professions that do require a college degree and such, you should go to college and get in debt and whatnot. So he has fascinating views, and I agree with him on a lot of angles, but I also know that there are quite a few things that I don't agree with him on. But he makes a lot more money than me, and I envy him for that.
You're way smarter than him.
I don't think so.
And you can sing opera.
I can. I haven't, but I can. I haven't.
Bernie Sanders wants free college for everyone.
That's true. Which is nice.
That's a song I just came up with. You like it? I also wanted to tell you about an interesting thing that happened to me yesterday.
Please do.
I'm going to at this time.
Okay, you want to tell us about what happened?
I was walking No, I'm a little uncomfortable now. I don't want to tell this story.
Okay.
Mac, tell your story! All right, Benita. Here's my story. I was at the marina in San Leandro yesterday because it was rather hot, and I found that by going closer to the bay, you cool yourself off. There was a nice wind blowing. Basil doesn't like it too hot because he's got a darker colored coat and he absorbs the sun. So we walked around the bay. Oh, that was really cool. At the marina, there's an island there, but sometimes a bridge is formed by the tide receding so low that you can walk out to this island.
And then get trapped there.
But the tide's come in and out so slowly that unless you don't move very quickly, you can get off that island rather quickly. Dan Rather, CBS News. Played by Robert Redford in that movie that came out last year. When they were talking about when Dan Rather got in all that trouble for saying that George W. Bush wrote these things to get him out of the draft dodging.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Snow Patrol, erasure rubbers. Wait, what?
This is all coming. This is all relating to conversations that we had before the podcast. I really don't want to get into.
Hey, island is what I'm trying to say. Islands in the stream. That is what we are.
Yeah, we should be talking about Snow Patrol. We should be talking about Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah.
I am a rock. I am an island. Or Robert Plant? No.
As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Silly Podcast, Summer Podcaster Valley. I feel like we're going to sing some more now.
Roger Waters, who had his album Once Upon an Island, I think.
Whoa, you just blew my mind that you knew who Roger Waters was.
Of course I know.
Did you ever listen to Radio Chaos?
No.
Radio Chaos is one of my favorite Roger Waters albums.
Oh, really?
It has this song on it. Whoa, the tide is turning. Back to my story.
Speaking of tides.
Prince of Tides, Nick Nolte, Barbra Streisand. So I walk out to this island with Basil, and it's got grass growing on it, and there's you're like walking really far out into the bay at this point. You can see Oakland Airport. You can practically touch the peninsula. No, you can't. But it's a neat place to go on the East Bay, is what I'm saying in San Leandro. But there's these dead seagulls everywhere. And what's weird is that it's like they've been blown a hole out of them. I wonder if they were shot or if other seagulls killed the seagulls. I don't know.
No, that's a common phenomenon. Depending on what they ate or just the weather, when birds die and when a lot of animals die, the gas in their stomachs will actually cause it to burst.
Oh, okay.
After a week or so. And if they're out there where there's not exactly very many scavengers, it makes sense that they would have just naturally gone kaboom.
There was a lot of bird bones on this island. Not to the extent of like the beginning of Terminator, but So beautiful island, really interesting.
Does it have a name?
I don't think. This guy I knew called it Sometimes Island, but that's not what it is. It's probably like it's probably San Leandro Marina Island, I think.
Sometimes Island is cute.
I like that name.
Yeah, I'm gonna call that.
Even though that guy was kind of a jerk, he was this weird. He hated my podcast, this guy.
Really?
He goes, "Oh, I hate your podcast. You start off with the, hey everybody, it's Mike Matthews at the Mike's Daily Podcast." He's like, "You shouldn't do that. Now you should be like Neil deGrasse Tyson." That's why I have the Neil deGrasse Tyson issues.
You should be like Paul F. Tompkins. Welcome.
As you can see, we are a fan of podcasts in general. Oh, so that was interesting to go on that island. Basil did walk into the muck though, because there's a lot of muck. You're walking on mud to get there, but if you walk there's this one strip that's actually not too muddy. But expect to wear crappy shoes because you're gonna get some mud on them. Okay. But Basil goes walking off into the what do you call it, with the brine and the mud and the ooze, and he gets like all, and that bay ooze sticks to freaking everything. So I had to really wash him off to get it off.
The sludge.
So that was fun. I'm driving home from this adventure. I get a call from my friend Georgia, who lives in Modesto, probably close to our good friend Greg. And Georgia and her husband Bob are in Tennessee right now. They drove a trailer from Modesto to Tennessee because they have a son that goes to Knoxville University.
Okay.
Or University of Knoxville. And they're in Tennessee at a campground because they have a trailer.
Right.
And they're like, Mike, we just met these two girls. They'd be perfect for you. No, they didn't say that. They'd be perfect for your podcast because they sing. And I listen to their stuff, and it's very cool, kind of folk, country, Dixie Chixie, Miranda Lambert, who I love, Sugarland type sound. And they're called Henry River Honey. Anyway,
should I say her?
Why would it be her?
Henry River Honey.
Ah, I see.
Her.
You always think at a level higher than mine. So you... then they go, Mike, they're going to play you a song. And they held up the phone. And they played me a song, like, live. Then the stupid reception went away because I have stupid Sprint. But then Georgia called me back and said, yeah, they said send them an email. So they're going to be on the podcast.
Very nice.
Not the group, but Bob and Georgia. No, this group, Henry River Honey, they're going to be on soon. They are playing all over the South. In fact, they're going to be playing very soon at a brewery.
And those are very popular.
And
especially around here.
Addendum with Kevin should listen to this because they're going to play at a place called... in Knoxville, some kind of brewery place.
Oh, it's called...
Yeah, I can't remember the name. Darn it.
I picked up a tub of Cool yesterday.
You did? How was that?
It is pretty good Cool.
Did you make that pie you were going to make?
Yes, I did make that chocolate cream pie.
Was it badass?
Hell yeah, it was badass.
Did you make it and then eat it all?
Not all of it. But I did put some Cool on it.
What's the recipe call for?
So, step one, get a pre-prepared pie crust because you can't be bothered.
Yeah, I'm not no frickin' Alton Brown. Go ahead.
Right, and I have I need special gluten-free pie crust. So we just got some gluten-free graham cracker pie crust already formed.
Easier on your body to digest.
Step two, make some instant pudding because you can't be bothered.
Right. And because Bill Cosby should go to jail.
Right. That's why I get instant... Well, it wasn't instant pudding. It was cooking to serve. But anyway, you make the pudding and you pour it in the pie crust.
Then do you throw it in the oven, or do you throw it in the fridge, or do you throw it out the window?
You can throw it out the window if you want.
That was my favorite joke as a kid. I was watching like Hee Haw or something. I admit I watched Hee Haw. Buck Owens and Roy Clark. But they had this guy, like this drunk guy, going, here's how you make something stew. You get your carrots, you get your broccoli, you boil it down, dig a hole in the backyard, pour it in the hole, bury it, and buy yourself a stew. That's all we have today. Goodbye. Oh, no, wait, we have some more. We have a little bit more. We have some more turnip juice.
Turnip juice?
You ever had turnip juice?
I have not had turnip juice. I've had beet juice. I've had...
Is that good?
Pomegranate. No. I've had pomegranate juice. That's all right. It's too tart. It's too tart. It's too tart, my Maxius.
What is that you're doing?
It's too tart. I don't want to drink it.
Hayley, don't drink it then. That's all right.
Okay.
Hayley, I feel that we've covered a lot of top. Oh, that guy, Svor Niggerson from Iceland, he resigned.
The morning news was Guy refuses to resign.
And then
the 10 o'clock news was Guy resigns.
Guy resigns.
So-
Did you hear that the Icelanders were like throwing bananas and yogurt, but it wasn't really yogurt. It's something in Iceland they call like ski, and it's like got salt in it or something, and they were throwing that and other healthy things and toilet paper
At him?
at the whatever the building is that they meet at. There were like some crazy amount of people, like 20,000 people.
Yep.
Which is the entire population of Iceland.
There's a lot of very active people in like Iceland and the UK who are quite active about ridiculing and fighting against bigots. There's been stories of I believe the UKIP party, which is a very racist and not good party in England. And they have taken like their candidates and like thrown them in dumpsters. And David Cameron, who is their prime minister right now, that everyone hates, he left the country for a visit to another country, and there is 30,000 signatures on a petition by his second week being away to not let him back in the country.
Oh, you're talking about in England, not in Iceland.
I'm talking about the political climate over there. I hear a lot of different stories.
Oh,
about,
in Europe and that.
They tend to like to throw things at people that are not good at being politicians because they don't like people.
So politicians beware, because they can get thrown into dumpsters or get yogurt thrown at them.
So, like, if you're here in America, no big deal. Like, you can be racist, you can be prejudiced.
Except for the
cares.
politicians that get shot.
Yeah, like, no, you get shot because you're anti-prejudice. You're anti-racist.
Oh. Like the lady in Arizona.
You get shot because you're Martin Luther King Jr. You get shot because you're John F. Kennedy.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was pretty deep.
I'm going to sing that Dion song. We were having a Dion discussion yesterday. Mm-hmm. Why can't I be a teenager in love? But he also had that...
I must be a teenager.
But he had the other song. Abraham, Isaac...
Yeah.
Robert.
Some other people.
Martin. Anyway. I went to go see my tax person yesterday. As we wrap up the show at 22 minutes. No, we're not. I went to go see my tax woman. And she's an attractive woman about my age. She's Indian. Huge eyes. And whenever I go to see her... There are, all of a sudden, these old men older than me. Yes, there are men older than me. That's a joke. Baha. It's not really a joke. Anyway, so men older than me that come in, like, just out of the frickin' blue and interrupt our meetings. And yesterday, I was supposed to meet with her at 11:30 because taxes are coming up. Right. And I go in there, and there's a guy sitting there like he came in unscheduled and just took my place. And she goes, "I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry. You can come back in 5 minutes because Mr. So-and-so decided to show up." And everybody's like, "Ha ha." And I'm saying, "Fuck this son of a bitch. Get him out of here." So anyway, I'm wondering if it's because she's attractive that these old guys show up, or if she's good with her taxes, preparing taxes, or what the hell.
Apparently she's not good with appointments.
Yeah.
It's about professionalism.
Yeah, so now I gotta come back at 3 o'clock today.
Damn, that really sucks, actually. That is really unprofessional.
It is.
I wouldn't stand for that. I'd be like, fuck you, and I'm going to TurboTax. and then everyone would go,
Well, at this point, I'm in the boat of I want to see this play out. If she's really like, if this escalates. I mean, at this point, I'm down to the wire. It's already April 6th, so I mean, we got to get this done. So she's got. My whole tax situation is very complicated. She's up to speed with it pretty much. So I don't know. Next time, I'm looking for someone else.
That makes sense.
If this goes, well, she's pretty. But
You could talk to our good friend and radio host, Stephen F. Lavelle.
Yeah, but he's all the way in Walnut
Who
Creek.
says that no matter what you paid for taxes last year, he will have it.
Maybe that's worth going to Walnut Creek for, I guess.
I don't know. Yeah, depending on how much paid.
And then finally, this happened today.
Now hear this.
The thing with the Trader Joe's parking lot. It's always packed.
That didn't happen today because it's currently 6:34 in the morning, and I'm pretty sure they open at 8.
Oh. Then I went to Sonic and bought a shake.
Okay, I like where this is going.
It was so delicious. I needed something to pick me up yesterday. I was really running low. And so I got the Sonic shake. It's so weird we have a Sonic. It's technically Fremont, I think. Maybe on the border of Union City. But
Okay,
there's Sonic.
where is that?
It's on Mission. I drive by it every day.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. It's weird because Sonics are all over the South. They have a rather entertaining ad campaign.
And there's one in Tracy.
Yeah. I hope she gets it out of her. Thank
She's
you.
got
Good
a lot
night.
of work to do.
Teeth work?
No, there's just all sorts of stuff in Tracy.
Tell me if I'm being a little bit of a jerk about this, but it's a situation with my other job, okay? Asshat, who we've talked about before.
Right. Tell me if I'm being a jerk. So there's this guy that we're going to refer to as Asshat. By the way, I'm not going to imply anything, but he definitely shares a name with one of the companies involved with a certain scandal in Panama.
He does, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, that makes sense.
Hold on. Anyway, tell your story and I'll get the...
Okay, so last weekend I was 5 minutes late on Saturday. Sunday I was 8 minutes late. When I walk in the door, I apologize because I got into some traffic in Castro Valley. For some reason, Castro Valley had a lot of traffic on Sunday. I don't know why. And he's like, that's all right. But yet he does the schedule for us. And on the schedule he writes, let's be on time, guys. I think he was singling me out.
Wonderful.
For being 8 minutes late. When this guy, I'm sure, he gets there, he's supposed to be there at 6. I'm sure he walks in at 9 o'clock. I fell asleep on my show. Sorry. Hayley has just pulled something out of the ether using his phone.
That's the name of the firm.
Whoa! That is totally the firm with a Mossack in front of it. That's totally his name, though, in there. Wow. Anyway, the other thing about my other job is there are all these young, pretty women that work as, like, promotions people.
Yeah.
And they're hoity-toity and don't talk to us air people at all.
That's a shame. I went to the Fremont Festival of the Arts, the culturally sensitive event where they don't have wine and beer. They do. We used to call it the Art and Wine Festival, but apparently they didn't want to promote the wine part of it too much, even though they still have a bunch of wine. So they call it the Fremont Festival of the Arts.
When did this happen?
Quite a few years ago. But I went there last year, and it was really hot. The sun was beating down, and I needed some shade because I don't do well with sun.
Yeah.
And so I went over to the Bone place.
The Bone. That's a local radio station.
107.7 The Bones booth, and I just kind of scooted to a spot where like their balcony was providing shade, and I'm just like, hey guys, I'm industry, I'm gonna use your shade.
Oh, that's funny. What did they say?
They were like, oh okay. And I was
they were
like,
nice about it.
I was like, yeah, yesterday I was working our booth up there, and man, it was boring. And they're like, yeah, what is with this people? I'm like, you think you have it hard? I friggin' I'm promoting a business and religious talk station at the same time, and they're like, we don't even get reception for the Bone here.
Really? In Fremont?
They had an iPod playing.
Oh my God.
They didn't have a radio.
Because Cumulus, that owns them, just like did all this turnover with KGO and KFOG, but they left the Bone alone. That rhymed. And I once talked to a guy who was on a podcast that involves one of these guys that does overnights or something. He got like a couple of his buddies, and he does a podcast that gets, I think they allow him to post it on the Bones website.
Well, that's cool.
So he talks about like it's sort of like freeform thought, but it's more Brohame. It's more like, hey man, we went and saw Kid Rock this weekend. It was awesome. Hey Brohame, you gotta hook me up. You work at that microbrewery.
Hey, Brotosaurus Rex.
Wait a minute, that sounds a lot like this show, because we got a guy that works at a brewery that sometimes shows up on this show. Well, there's the Brewmaster.
The Brewmaster.
Brewmaster, you don't have to keep cowering in that corner, especially since we're outside.
But it's nice out here. I'm getting a lot of delicious sunshine.
Do you think...
Sunshine on my shoulder makes me happy. Hello, Dolly.
Do you think if I took off Brewmaster's hat, there would be like a Lego stud on top?
Let's see. Take his hat off. There's a crow under his hat. Goddamn crow.
Yeah, that's my good buddy. His name is Smiley.
That's an adorable name for a crow.
Smiley the crow.
Smiley the crow. Aw.
This is a story about Smiley the crow. He used to belong inside of a show, where in this show there'd be women scantily clad, and they would hit each other with big rubber pads. Everybody, why don't we go to the scantily clad fair, where everybody walks around and says, "Ho, spare." I don't know why I don't live on top of an island.